The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine.
Coming in, you know what that means. It's Tuesday, 9 p.m., right here on Facebook on Armed Radio. Hi, everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Hi, we are so happy you're here. We just want to let you know that this is Armed Radio. Armed Radio was started for the Armed Forces a while back, and now everyone's jumped on. So it goes across the country and 66 other countries. So welcome to our show tonight. And if you want to find us online and just listen to the show, it's armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global. And of course, we always Facebook Live, and so far so good. So the first thing we love to do is recognize our viewers that come on every week. Let me see who's come on, because I saw you flying by. I also want to tell my radio audience that when I mention people's names, because we are Facebook Living, people are checking in, so it's not that I've lost my mind or I'm Sybil and just saying names randomly. Jeffrey Campbell and Jason Peck have, you guys are tied, by the way. It's usually Jason Peck first. Last week Annette Zito beat him, but Annette Zito, there you are. Chris DePiero and Charlotte Lebov have joined us. Richard Skipper, hi Richard Skipper. I was thinking about you today.
Oh, this is Michael Vaccaro.
Michael Vaccaro, you know Michael Vaccaro?
Yes.
Oh my God, he's a New York guy, and now he's
Do you know Michael Vaccaro?
Of course, the handsome, very handsome Michael Vaccaro.
Very handsome.
And look who else has joined us: Leo Rodriguez, our accidental intern. I can't tell you how many people say, "Oh my God, I can't wait to say Leo Rodriguez." So Jeffrey, my guy, Stephen Elbell, and Jeffrey are. Hi, Stephen Elbell. We missed you at the party last week at Judy's. Let me see. So, Jason Peck says, "Love you, Kelvin."
Hi, Jason.
Jason, you know Jason. He's the nicest
I love
guy.
Jason.
I know.
Hi.
Everyone loves Jason. He's a very lovable person. My
I'd
friend,
love you if I knew you.
you know what? You actually would get along extremely well. Don't you think?
I do.
Yeah.
Jason, Facebook friend me. Okay.
Yeah, Jason,
Now.
Facebook friend Terry Red. Then we have Kimberly Travis. She's out in Texas, I believe. Ed Kutu, my friend from high school, and he has Blade Salon in Old Westfield, Connecticut. He is a hairdresser, amazing guy. All right, so we have a bunch of people. Joe Savino, he is the big cheese over at, he's Joe Rocks at Armed Radio. So hi, Joe. And my cousin Rena Crignali-Bergi has joined us. She's here every week. Happy Tuesday to you too, Eddie. Duke Cook has joined us. Brian Johnson has joined us. Okay, I think we're
Hi,
ready.
everybody.
Look how quickly these loyal, wonderful people jump on. And
Populating, I'm seeing all the
Yep.
thumbs up.
Marisa Raskowski, I believe, has joined us. That's my, Isabella Raskowski, which is really Marisa Raskowski. She hijacks her daughter's Facebook page. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, now we are ready to start. So tonight, I'm calling it kind of our Life in the Theater show. Every week I interview creative people. That's the mission of our show. I was telling these guys. And this week, it happens to be two theater-heavy people. That's what it's really about. So our first, it doesn't matter what, I'm going to just do it alphabetically. Kelvin Moon Lowe is here. And I've put his spelling up there, and you can find, and I've tagged everyone. You can, after the show, go and check out what everybody does. And this is Terry Ray. And they are both people, wonderful guys that work in the theater and are currently working in the theater. And as we know, that doesn't always happen where people are, they may be actors, writers, whatever, but there's not something going on right now. And I want to talk about that too. We'll get back to that too. But
These are fortunate times, Maria.
yes,
Good
they
times.
are.
Yeah.
These are the good old days. It's like, I always say to people, wherever you are right now, take a photograph, whether it's good or bad, and remember this moment, as it can change like that.
That's true.
In a good way or a not so good way. But everything I find, I don't know how you guys feel, but everything is as an actor anyway, and a writer. Everything is an experience, and you're going to use it somewhere. So let's start with. Why don't we start with Terry, because you and Mel, your
Mel England,
who is my friend as well.
Yeah.
And you're doing a show right now. Yesterday was a performance. Let's start with that.
It's called Electricity, and it's a play I wrote, and it's a gay play. It's about two guys that meet up in 1983 in small town Ohio after their 10th high school reunion. One is so closeted that he could only bear to go back to his reunion by pretending that he has a wife. And the other one, that one had moved to California, and the other one had moved to New York, and he's so out and wild that he lives his life like he's not going to have a future because he doesn't believe he'll live long enough to. And they wind up sharing this hotel room, and then the play just follows this relationship every 10 years after their high school reunion in 83, 93, 03, and 13. And you see how the world changes them and how they change. It's a really fun, touching love story, and it really kind of captures the gay journey for everybody who's been around for any of those decades.
Yes, absolutely. And I got to tell you, as you're talking, I mean, I have long sleeves on, but I have chills.
Aw,
Yeah, and because,
she saw it.
No, I saw it. And it was the last time you were in town, because you guys are based in Palm Springs now?
We've been doing the play in Palm Springs for a year and a half. The whole play takes place in one motel room, and in Palm Springs, we literally do it in a motel room.
It's
20 people at a time.
What would you call that? Immersive
It's
theater?
immersive.
Immersive theater. So,
Fun.
It's fun, and it's mind-blowing is what it is. So I went to see it. I know Mel. I love Mel. Mel had been on the show. I met Terry once. He's beautiful and pleasant and wonderful. And I thought, yeah, let me go see this. And I have a few hours in the day because I work nights. Okay, I'll go. And I'll just support my friends. We all do that. We help each other out. And I sat there. I sat in the front because I like to sit in the front. And I was so moved. I mean, I laughed a lot. But I was so moved by what happened and some of the changes and some of the crunchy moments, and you're like, oh no. And I was rooting. I have to say, Mel, don't get mad. I know Mel's in the studio, but I really rooted for your character.
You did? Oh, nice.
Because he was so fragile and so vulnerable, and I am not that person. I'm the other kind of person. I'm like more that the character Mel plays, you know? And so I really it gave me as a viewer and also a person involved there, you can't help but be energetically involved, really like a window into someone else's feelings. And I thought it was just a brilliant play. I think it's a brilliant play.
Thank you. It's been so rewarding because people have been seeing themselves in the characters, which
Yep.
is exactly, as a writer, that's what you want. And
Was that your intention when you wrote it?
well, I wanted to tell our story. I just wanted to tell our story, and I felt like it hadn't been told. And it took decades. To journey from being so ashamed of yourself that you have to make up a wife to demanding equality is a long journey.
Yes.
And it takes decades, and that's why I had to skip time to tell it. Because otherwise you couldn't tell it. It's too
And
long.
also, historically, and Kelvin, I'm going to pull you in here in a minute, but Kelvin's a lot younger than we are. And so it's a different generation.
Obviously younger.
Well, I mean, we know he's younger, so,
Yeah.
but we look great, Terry.
We
so
do.
You
we're
look
all right.
gorgeous.
I know, right?
We dimmed the lights. We look better.
did. Boy, did we
That was an issue.
tweak the lights tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But as a person that grew up in that same era,
Yeah.
boy, have things changed.
Right.
And to I'm here now, and I'm very good about staying present, but that play pulled me back, and I felt all those feelings again, and those fears,
Good.
and all that stuff, and I thought, two things. I thought, boy, have we come far, and oh my God, how did we survive
Yeah.
all that stuff?
And we're not there yet.
We're not there yet, but it was
Yeah.
really something. So,
Yeah, thank
so
you.
that
So-
happened last night.
Yes, and we're doing it again this week, and we'll be back more. We're doing it for backers and producers. So if you want to know more, maybe you can come to one of our performances if you're here in New York. What's the website?
The info. Okay,
the
we
email.
wrote it down. The email.
Info@electricitytheplay.com. Info@electricitytheplay.com.
So-
If you live in New York City and you think you might want to come to our performances right now are free. We're just doing them for backers, but we want regular people who enjoy theater to be there too.
Absolutely, and you should see this. The writing is exceptional, the acting is exceptional, and I promise you that you are going to be provoked to feel your feelings. So it's really,
Thank you.
oh, I loved it.
I'm just more proud of this play than anything I've ever done. So.
Really? And we're going to come back to you. I want to switch over to Kelvin in a second.
Do we really need to talk?
Yes, we have to.
Please.
We have to talk about
I
Kelvin.
have feelings too.
I know, and we're going to talk about all those feelings. Jessica Schaefer has joined us. Mandar has joined us. He's our chick magnet that
Ooh,
joined us every week. Yeah, Mandar is a chick magnet. Oh my God, look at who's joined us. Anthony Fett.
Well,
Hi, Anthony. There he is. Fernando Marolando has joined us. Hi,
He
Fernando.
sounds exotic.
He sounds really exotic. Hi, Fernando. Suzanne Mason has joined us. She joined us every week. Kenny Green.
Kenny
Oh my God. Do you
Green.
know Kenny?
I love Kenny.
How can you know? You would love Kenny too.
Kenny, Facebook friend me.
Kenny, Facebook friend Terry Ray. Kenny, I saw you last night at the Duplex, and what a joy to see you again. He's been traveling for, talk about a life in the theater. He's constantly on tour. He's a musical director.
Wow.
And a singer and a trumpet player. He brought us
God.
Oh my
Too
God.
bad
it
he's
says
not
it.
talented.
I know, that's the problem. So yeah, Mando Chick Magnet is back. There we go. That, you know, our viewers talk to each other, which is John Pandish every week. Sweetheart, thank you for joining us. Now, let's switch over to Kelvin Moon. Kelvin, let's get you in the shot a little more.
I'm here.
Yes,
leaning,
good.
leaning,
Okay,
leaning.
I'll go
so
sideways.
Kelvin, I know.
Wait, that's the position. Ready? The sideways. Required.
There we
Oh,
go.
I love that.
Oh my God.
Oh, I like
That's
Charlie
magical.
Danger.
That's magical.
I left Kelvin in charge of the musical bells, the magical bells tonight.
Just a little jealous.
I said, yeah, I know you were jealous. And what did Terry say? Well, I can reach over if something magical
The
happens.
good old reach around.
Oh my God, you see what happens here? So if the magical bells go off, I am not touching them. These boys are in charge of the magic tonight.
We
As
hold the
they
magic
should-
cards.
As they should be. So now, Kelvin, we're going to go back and forth tonight, but do you want to start with what you're doing now or what?
Let's start what's doing now because
Let's do it.
we just started rehearsals
Oh my God.
for Beetlejuice the musical.
Can you believe this?
That's so cool.
Beetlejuice the musical, guys. Yes, you heard that right. So tell us what you know so far, Kelvin.
So we did a little out-of-town tryout in Washington, D.C. at the National Theater a couple months ago, and we got a theater. We're going to the Winter Garden, the historic Winter
Wow.
Garden.
How cool is that?
Are you
Seen every
kidding
show
me?
there. You know, I feel like one of my first early musicals. You know, I saw Cats there.
Right,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah, yeah.
School of Rock there recently. They have long-running shows.
Mamma
Yes.
Mia was
Mamma
there.
Mia was there.
And it's huge. That's a
It's huge.
big
It's
theater.
huge. I'm really excited about
So
it.
that says a lot about the promise of that show.
Yeah.
I hope so. I think it's a really funny show. I think
How
I've
can
been
it not
obsessed
be?
with Tim Burton's movies over the years.
Did he
and
write
so-
the book?
He didn't write the book for this one. We've got two new writers, Scott Brown and Anthony King. They're TV writers, and they're out in LA, but they've got a really good sense of comic timing. It's
Yeah.
hilarious. The guy who wrote the music for it, his name is Eddie Perfect. He's an Australian man, and if you looked at him, he's absolutely perfect.
Every song is perfect.
Yeah, every song's perfect.
Okay.
He's represented right now with King Kong on Broadway.
Wow, okay.
But I got brought on a little late in the process, so they've been working on it for many, many years right now, but I just joined them in
But
DC.
I hadn't heard about it until you were in it.
I hadn't
So-
really heard about it either. You know, when they put it in development, they kind of want it out of the public eye for a little while. A lot of shows start out of town just so that it's not New York critics looking at it right away, so
Right.
they can really kind of nurture and develop it. It takes a lot of time to put a musical together.
Of course. And
Yeah.
and like what you talked about with the New York critics, that can go either way. And if they get their hands on their eyes on something too early before it's been developed, it can be good or bad.
Right.
So I'm one of those people that does not listen to that stuff early on. If a show hasn't run at least 8 months, I'm not listening to critics.
I wish I had the Constitution. I really do, because I am a
Do you?
a
Yeah.
late night internet scourer of all things
Really?
bad.
Do you read the reviews before you see something?
I read reviews. No, that
can't
I
do
don't
that.
read the reviews before I see something because
Okay.
I don't want it to inform it.
Right.
But I do go back and I read the reviews to kind of see like where am I on the same page as the critics, and then where am I not? It's
You mean you
interesting.
read your own reviews or
to
of
read
your
my
own
own
show?
reviews of my own shows too.
Yeah.
And it's not, and I know people are, it's kind of half and half. People are like, absolutely not, no way. And I'm
Right.
like, I'm curious. I just want to see what's up.
What people are saying.
Yeah.
Has anything ever really knocked the wind out of you?
Not yet.
Okay, good.
Not yet. I'll have to say that I've been kind of growing up through the ensemble through the years. So this is my fourth Broadway show. I feel super lucky about that. but I've done kind of ensemble tracks. This is my first kind of big supporting character role in the show, which I'm super excited
That's
about.
amazing.
Really
And
good.
Can you tell us what role you will have?
I'm playing a character called Otho.
Okay.
In the movie, it's played by Glenn Shaddix, and it's kind of the gay best friend to Catherine O'Hara in the movie, and so it's that kind of track. It's their kind of story. It's not 100% based on the movie. There are definitely elements of the movie that are in the musical, but I put my own little spin on it. You know,
Of course.
try to put my own little take on as we develop it, and that's what I'm working on right now.
Wow. And you have songs, I'm thinking, right? Or
I don't have a song yet, but it doesn't mean that I'm not with Eddie Perfect, being like, so this moment right here could use a little, Otho's soliloquy could go in there.
Oh, all right. Well, that's the beauty of developing something, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of. I've been very happy that all 4 shows I've done at the rehearsal level. Right at the beginning. Because shows can run a long time, and you can replace, and you don't get all that information, and it's kind of set. Here, it feels like, this is raw clay.
Wow.
I can mold it. I can really.
Wow, really?
That's exciting.
It's what I've always wanted to do. It's like a super dream come true. It's to be in the room where it happens.
Yeah.
And
Somebody should make a song out of that.
I know. What a great song. That would be so catchy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, put a really good beat on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, maybe. I don't
Funk
know.
it up a little, yeah.
So, okay, and so I asked you before, I'm going to come back to you, because now you talked a little bit about TV too, and the TV writers. So I want to switch over to go back to Terry now, because Terry, when we were talking earlier, you talked about the fact that not only you written for theater, you've also written for television.
Right, yeah.
So I guess that does happen more often than I realized, because I didn't realize that with Beetlejuice, apparently they're using...
This is true. I find that it's happening a lot
More,
now,
right, now?
because it's storytelling, and I think that as a storyteller, and correct me if I'm wrong, for anybody who writes, they see the different mediums and what beauty you can do in specific mediums that you can't do in other mediums, and you kind of dabble back and forth. I know a lot of playwrights who have gone back and forth.
This is my first play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that. How you from going from that to a play.
Well, I was writing a series of movies that were soul crushing to me because I was ghostwriting them. They basically told you the title and said this is a rewrite, and it was so hard because I would get notes like it's a comedy but don't make it funny, or we don't like characters with flaws. It's like, oh my god. So I just couldn't take it anymore. I did 11 of them, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I'm like, what can I write where I don't have to take a bad note and pretend like it's a good note? And I said, I'm going to write myself a play because I just don't want to have
Now,
to
did
take
you
a
go to
bad note.
school for screenwriting?
Never.
No, it's just something you started doing?
I've been writing for 19 years, but I never had a class.
Really?
No, never.
Let me just interrupt for a second. Rory Taggart has joined us. He's our friend from Canada. I believe he's in Vancouver right now. Let me see if people...
We're international?
Yes, of course. So sometimes we get Australians on, too. Millie Aguilar has joined us. Brad Lacey, Dr. Brad Lacey. He's a dentist if you need a good dentist.
Doctor.
Brian Johnson. Okay, Brian, he's got to run, but you can watch it. The thing is, I saved the show at the end, so you can go back and watch it as many times as you like. Anthony Fett says his lip gloss is popping. Whose lip gloss?
Mine?
No, maybe mine.
Yours.
I don't know. Might be
And you
mine.
smell really good.
You know what?
People don't know that.
Thank you. I pride myself on smelling good.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be one of those people that you always say, "Boy, that person smells good."
You smell
it's
yummy.
just one of those things. It's a thing with me.
I'm going to smell your hair.
Go ahead.
Oh my god, it's really good.
You like it?
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
My turn.
Ooh, it smells good.
What is it?
I'm not telling you.
Does
Secrets.
anybody want to smell my hair? Yeah.
Wow. Hey, listen, I want you to tell that story because that was so funny. We were talking about, do you mind telling that story about as you were back in your closet? So we were talking about, because I'm a little bit of a pack rat.
No, she's not.
And I'm a collector, let's say. If you saw my apartment, I collect a lot of stuff. But some people have called me a hoarder or you're just messy but these guys were defending me and said, no, you're a collector.
Mm-hmm.
So then you said,
Well, I just moved for the first time in forever, and for me, my thing is, if it's out of sight, that's good. It's good enough. Like, if it's behind a cabinet or a closet, I'm like, I'm done. So I had to empty these closets for the first time, and my bathroom cabinet, which is so full, I could only use the front. It was an archaeological core dig into my baldness, because the front was all sunscreen, and then back further was like minoxidil, Helsinki formula. And then back further was like hair gel. And then there was like a blow dryer. And it's like, what? How long since I've been to the back of that closet? Long time.
You see? Okay, so they say if you haven't used something in a year or 2 years, you got to get rid of it.
Oh, please.
I
own nothing.
I know. That's true, too. No, I'm getting better. That's my thing this year, my New Year's resolution, which I don't usually make resolutions, but I will set an intention and try to focus on something. And this year it's my career. I'm really focusing on my career. And I feel like, and money, because I feel like I need to bring in some money just so I can chill out a little bit. And they say that feng shui, that if you get rid of things that you're not using, it will open up that part of your home that's for prosperity.
Well, I did get rid of like a bazillion things, so I did.
Did you? Good for you.
Have you guys been watching the social media phenomenon of?
Tell me about this. People are talking about this. What is it?
Marie Kondo, Anthony Fett, my boyfriend, who's here. There's a show on Netflix called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. She's the cutest Japanese woman who has come up with this system, this method of how to clean out your apartment.
Really?
And everyone's
I
doing
need
it.
that.
And everyone's doing it right now. And so you start with your clothing, and here's just one example. What they require you to do to start cleaning any area of your apartment is you take your entire closet, every piece of clothing you own, and you put it in a pile, and then you start taking one item and you go, does this spark joy? And if you don't, if it sparks joy, you fold it, and she teaches you how to fold it and how you can put it so that you know what you have.
Sparking
and if
joy.
you don't, you say, thank you so much for your service, or I love it, and then you pass it on. It works. It works.
Thank you for your service. You pass it on. How about I'm fatter in the winter because I love to eat. Does that bring me joy, or is that a service? I guess that would be service.
You can do a lot of things.
I have to go cough. I'll be right back.
Yes, please go cough
okay?
and come back.
So
He'll be
wrong.
back. This is live theater.
Right.
You see how this happens? Listen, we're going to be here for at least another 35 minutes.
Right.
Oh my God, he's so high maintenance. I knew it when I put him on the show. I was like, I know he's going to do something to upstage us while we're talking about decluttering.
Well, we'll chat.
Sure
we'll take
enough.
up more.
We love this. Let's get in more.
more
So you
back.
reckon? Oh, damn it!
He's back.
We don't have
I may have been
time.
coughing,
That
but
was-
I heard every word you said.
See, that was magical.
I'm not
Oh
guaranteeing
my
that's not gonna
God,
happen
you're doing a
again.
hell of a
Something
job there on
happened.
those
Okay.
bells, Kelvin.
It was all the dust we brought up with memories. It just flew.
You know what? That could have happened. So does it bring you joy?
Spark joy.
Spark joy.
And they do that with like clothing and lots of miscellaneous things. First of all, I know hoarders. You are not a hoarder.
You're
Thank
not a hoarder.
you.
Not even close.
You can
Thank you.
spin in this apartment.
You can't spin in
Yes.
this apartment. It's joyful, right? It's just I collect things. It's kind of like who I am. This has to be okay. That's different. That
That's
does not.
Working. That's a progress.
That is progress.
Office.
That does not spark joy. All those papers.
That's
But-
office.
That is a category in there. We're looking at papers.
Yes,
over there,
papers
and
are-
that's my biggest.
Is it a
thing.
book? I got to get this book.
She has a book, but
that's
there's
clutter.
a television series too.
Oh.
Wow, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and it's kind of a huge thing that's happening, and it's crazy because I have a friend who works at Beacon's Closet. It's a vintage clothing
Yeah.
store, and they're saying they're being inundated with clothing now. They've never seen it because it really has kind of sparked some kind of social phenomenon in happening in this country
Well,
right now.
this is great. I'm glad. I'm really glad. This is exactly what I needed. Thank you, Kelvin. Oh my God.
Now, if I only followed it for myself,
Well, a little at a
Listen.
time, we help each other out.
Yeah.
Okay, so when does Beetlejuice come to the city, and when does it? What are the previews? Tell
we
us
start
about that.
previews at the end of March, and we officially open on Broadway on April 25th.
That's
my
exciting.
God.
We're
Oh my God.
the very, very last musical or play to open in this Tony Awards season.
God, this is so exciting.
It's all happening really, really fast.
That's great.
Yes, it is. So we can still get tickets at March. You said March.
You can get tickets right now.
Okay, good.
And it's BeetlejuiceTheMusical.com.
Oh my God, I
spelled
can't wait.
just like the movie. And yeah, it's a big space, so there's
the Winter
room
Garden is a
available.
huge
Yeah.
space.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love seeing shows there.
Yeah.
All 4 of them that I've seen in the last
no,
20 years.
I've seen a couple of them there.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers though because it's that theater has good juju.
It has great
That's
juju.
where
running
Funny
for all the
Girl
time.
was.
I have not.
Mhm.
That's right, and I have nothing but good feelings about that. I
Mm-hmm.
really do. All right. So, microphone. Oh no, what's happening? Oh, it's better. Okay.
Better.
I hope not.
Do we have a
Diane,
problem?
Okay. Sometimes Leo will help us. He's like what we call. Oh, Pete's put up BeetleJuiceTheMusical.com. Leo, can you also put up electricitytheplay.com? I think knowing Leo, he probably already did. He's like the
Leo.
best.
Clever.
Leo Rodriguez is
Amazing.
Magical.
Let's do it all together.
Leo Rodriguez.
Fantastic. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Damn,
Okay.
just learning
that's
that.
fun.
Gene Simpson, I need to purge and simplify. It doesn't make you feel
No.
joy.
Everybody's left us. They're all purging their closets
That's
now.
Please come back, everyone.
Don't purge yourselves of shows.
Right.
Right.
Kia Nelson has joined us. She's in Philly.
Except for
She's a
playbooks.
Philly girl. Stephen Lowenthal has joined us. Hi, Stephen.
Steven.
Yes, so many wonderful things are happening. Okay. Now, what do you and Mel plan to do with, you were here before with Electricity, the play.
Mm-hmm.
You invited people to see it. Now you've come back. Are you inviting new people to see it? Is it a backers?
It's a growing little pool of people that have expressed interest. Some of them are producers. A couple of won Tony Awards.
Oh my God,
People-
wait, stop right there. I think, just for a second, and I'll explain
What
why.
happened?
Gina Savino has joined us. That is my cousin Gina. And when she joins us, we all have to clap. Gina Savino, everybody!
I love rules.
Yes, I know, there are definitely rules here, definitely. Okay, so we can go on. So it's a few people that are...
growing group of people, and we have people that now are, that have money, that are interested in maybe supporting this because they believe in the cause and they believe in the message. And I have a producer, Michael Darner, who's been with the play from the beginning. He's an architect. He never had done this before, but he's like, this play is my life story.
Yeah.
And so it seems to be touching people in that way that's like, I want to do what I can do to get this play out there in the world. And I would love for anybody in town to come see this play because I think, or if you're in Palm Springs, come see it.
When are you going to be in Palm Springs? We have a big following in Palm Springs.
Electricitytheplay.com. We have been booked for a year and a half, and we got dates for the next 6 months, so it'll be a record-breaking
Okay, so
2-year run.
Just go to the website and you're going to see all the dates and the dates that you can go see it. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go.
Thank you.
And this is the kind of play you can go to by yourself. Like I went, because sometimes I like to go to theater by myself, and then other times it's like, I wish someone was here, just to see it with me or whatever. But this is the kind of show you can actually go to by yourself and really, really get the same experience that you would. And this is also the type of thing, get your friends that you've been friends with for 20 years and know that track of time and know how things have changed. Go, then afterwards you go and get something to eat and talk about what you just saw and experience and how it relates to your life. This is the kind of thing that, do you do Q&As as well?
We're going to, on Thursday, we're going to do a Q&A.
Great. Wow.
I have a question right now.
Yeah.
Yes, please raise your hand so
What
I
a
can
good
acknowledge
student
you.
you are,
Yes,
Kelvin.
Kelvin.
Sorry. So the plan for the future of the play, is it going to continue to be site specific?
No.
No.
No,
Okay.
we're doing it here. We're going to do it off Broadway here.
Okay.
In theater.
Okay.
We've done it in theaters in LA and Columbus and Minneapolis in regular theaters. But just because
Leo's
it's this
put up
opportunity-
electricitytheplay.com.
Oh, thank you.
Leo.
Because it takes place in one hotel room, we just thought it would be fun to try it, and we have so much fun doing it that we don't want to give up. It's like acting in a live movie because the audience is like.
Right.
Wow.
It's really fun to do. You can whisper. You
I
can do
love
But this
immersive
could be a
theater.
movie as well.
Yeah, I want it to be a movie too.
This-
Got a leg in.
He does have a leg, maybe two, maybe a leg and a knee or something.
Just a thigh.
There's so much that can be done. I'm telling you, that's how you know something is really good, when you start thinking of other things, that can happen with it. And it's very, it's a conversation starter for sure. And if you're a younger person that has not experienced those decades, this is a history lesson.
It's been great because younger people have gone, wow, I didn't realize. Or straight people have said, you know what, I just thought it was a love story. I didn't even think it was a gay play. So that's been a lot of a happiness for me to hear people say those things.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I really loved it. So, okay, Kelvin.
Yes.
Now I want to go back to the beginning of your Broadway career.
Bringing you both
Oh
closer
my
to
gosh.
me.
Thank you. I love that. So your first show was Sideshow.
Sideshow, The Revival.
Oh boy.
And then it kind of all started off Broadway. Like,
Okay,
I feel
so
like
tell
that's-
us about that. So you're a Long Island guy, right?
I'm a Long Island kid.
All right.
I'm a New Yorker through and through. I'm from Long Island. I went to college at NYU. I stayed in the city. And then from that point, I've just been kind of working and auditioning in the city. Theater has always been my number one passion.
Yeah, that I can see.
I like TV and I like film. They won't have me yet.
Right.
And then
Oh, you see, he was literally
Yeah,
rubbing
I know.
elbows.
Let's see
Here's
what
my
happens.
elbow.
Wow.
Here it is.
Oh, there's that
I'm gonna
elbow.
kiss it. But then, so the thing I was always doing when I was at NYU, which was I used to love to see plays at the public theater. The musicals that started public are Chorus Line. They started Hair there. It's all the amazing things. And so I went into an open call and I got this show called Here Lies Love.
All right.
It's a musical about Imelda Marcos.
Aha.
Had very little to do about shoes, and it was written by David Byrne, Talking Heads, and it was really super exciting. I don't know how I got into it. It was kind of my big break, and from that point forward, I just started to get a couple more projects and I feel like I grew into myself in that show. And then
And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I was late 20s at that point, so like I think 20.
How long did you do that show for?
I think we did that show for about a year and a half, on and off. We started off Broadway, huge hit. We extended, closed down for a little bit, tried to find a new space because it was immersive theater.
Wow.
And it was very site specific. They built this whole set that kind of was modular, and it kind of and the entire audience. We had about 200 people a night, and they were moving with the space.
Really?
That
It
is
was
cool.
disco. It was really cool.
That's
Let me interrupt you for 1 second.
Yeah.
Eugenia Mason has joined us. That is my girlfriend. Hi, honey. I just always wanted to know. There she is.
Here you got
But
it.
she goes
Hi.
by Judy, so a lot of people are like, who's that? So, and Shep Pamplin has joined us. Okay, so we're talking to Kelvin. I want to let people know that have just joined us what's happening here. We're talking to Kelvin Moon Lowe, who is a Broadway, off-Broadway actor, singer, dancer. And he is going to be opening in Beetlejuice, which is coming in previews in March.
Coming to Broadway.
He's done a ton of stuff. And I do want to talk about all the other stuff that you've done. Sideshow, King and I.
And then
Sponge-
close to it, SpongeBob SquarePants the musical.
I mean,
I love it.
I think that's the only time in my entire life I was family friendly doing anything.
is that
Really?
true?
I like I like a little bit more risque theater.
Yeah.
I like things that are a little bit more,
Wow. Can I say a little side
Say what
thing?
you want, dude.
I was in an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants.
You
What?
were?
Yes, I was.
As what?
I played. They had on their 10th anniversary show. They had live actors. They had I don't know, a lot of big stars. But Craig Ferguson was in it, and he was talking to Patchy the pirate.
Yes.
And I played Craig Ferguson's assistant.
I love that. We'll have to
as
go
a
back
real
and forth.
person.
Yeah,
Wow.
Patchy the Pirate, which is, a real it's an animated cartoon, of course, and then Patchy's the most famous non-animated. I'll have to look for a 10th anniversary special.
Yeah.
Wow, this is exciting. You never know. You see how this happens?
SpongeBob SquarePants is family friendly, but it is also very
Yeah,
adult in its
yeah.
I
own
was
way.
gonna say I've
It's
seen
super
some
smart.
scenes from it. I didn't get to see it because of course I work nights and I miss everything. So I'm really trying to make a point to see more things. But when I did see you, you were in the Macy's Day Parade, and then the Tonys.
We did. I got to be featured in the opening number of the Tonys
That's so
last
cool.
year.
It was
Oh.
amazing.
But-
you can YouTube that,
Yeah,
can't you?
It was the opening number. I'm not in the SpongeBob number, but Sarah Bareilles and Josh Groban were singing, and it was a big year where they were trying to celebrate ensembles and musicals. And just at the beginning, we got to come out, sing a little bit with them, and then there's the huge passerelle at Radio City Music Hall, and we just all did this cross. It was the ensembles from all the different shows that were nominated
really?
that year. And I strutted all the way across,
for you.
giving you some shoulder, lots of hip.
Oh, I love it. Let me see some
Little
shoulder,
right now,
Kelvin.
shoulder.
No.
What? Wow.
You've been
You know,
hiding all that shoulder action
right. Well, that okay.
behind a black shirt.
So I have to jump in here because, well, first of all, I want to say hi to Edie Gershman. She's my Rodan and Fields business partner. And look who's joined us, our friend Mario Cantone. Everybody
Oh my
loves
God,
Mario.
He's a celebrity, isn't he?
Well, he's my friend.
Wow.
We
Mario.
went to high school together, actually.
You did?
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
I'm a fan.
And a great guy, and very funny. And you can find Mario on 3,000 Wonderful Things.
Yeah,
and
he's
always
fantastic.
doing something. So, and Janet Betta has just joined us.
You have a lot of people.
You know what? If you stick around long enough in life, you're going to know a lot of people.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. And if you live in New York, you're going to know a lot of people that happen to be in the performing arts. So that's just the way it goes. But now, Kelvin, I have to bring this up.
Yes.
Because I've known Kelvin, and in my opinion, he's a little laid back, I would put him
You just
almost...
gave a
I
shoulder.
know, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I didn't always know this Kelvin. I know Kelvin is usually a little more laid back, a little more reserved. And then I was like doing my homework, so I said, let me just watch a couple of Kelvin's YouTubes. And there was some stuff going on there. There were some very impish side glances. Exactly. And I saw a whole, a whole other part of Kelvin. And now this shoulder thing...
That's interesting.
This might be the real Kelvin.
The lights are on, the cameras
Yeah.
are on.
Yes.
I'm giving you face.
I'm
And
seeing
shoulder.
it. And your voice is beautiful.
Oh,
No, I
thanks,
bet
Mario.
he's I bet you're a good
It's
singer.
beautiful. You must check out Kelvin Moon Low. Just Google it. YouTube. Go on YouTube, and you're not going to believe.
I'm
how
so
good-
afraid what's up there. But the curated stuff is on www.kelvin.
Oh, let's do that. That's even
The
better.
curated
Yeah.
stuff.
Right. Well, the selected. You know what? Don't even worry about that other stuff, because there's so much of it curated. I like that. So KelvinMoon
.com.
Low.com. That's
Kevin,
it. So spell your name for our radio listeners.
KelvinMoon.com. I
just
scrapped the
Kelvin
last
Moon?
name. Well, you know what happened?
That's so easy.
Well, because I used to have KelvinMoonLow.com, but I let the domain kind of expire, and
yeah.
it's now bought by some Japanese company that's
No!
sell it back to
They
me
want
for
you to-
$10,000.
Right, right.
Oh, my
If you
God,
ever
that
let
happened to
them
my
go, you can
sister.
never get it back
I
again.
know, it's terrible.
Yeah.
That happened to my sister. She has a hair salon in West Concord called European Flair. My dad opened it in the 70s. And same thing. Some guy bought it, EuropeanFlair.com. And when she went to, she's like, this is crazy. And that is exactly what happened.
They buy them
I
up
think
cheap.
he only wanted
Yeah.
$1,000 for it, but can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Well, I own the rights to MariaGentili.com. So
Excellent.
there you go.
And you're a fantastic singer.
Well, you know what? That is one of the things I do, and thank you so much.
Well, last time I was in New York, you gave me your CD, and I put it in my car, and I'm driving from LA to Palm Springs to LA all the time, and I haven't taken it out.
Oh, thank you. Well, I wrote those songs, so that's what I'm
know.
most proud of.
It's beautiful.
Anything that I do is my songwriting. I love it the most of anything I do. So I also have a website, MariaGentili.com. Go and check it out. You can go to iTunes and download. Only one of my albums is up there, but I should actually get the other one on there.
That's great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
What's
that.
the name of the album that we can buy?
That ... which is real. And the reason I called it that was I was in the studio and I had recorded it. I had done everything you need to do to this master. And I had mixed it with my friend MP, and she's like this genius mixer. And then finally I had to master it. And it was just women I was working with mostly. My musical director is a woman. My other co-writers are women.
good.
For the most part. Sometimes there's guys that come, and I'm not discriminating, just happen to be that way. And then the guy that was mastering it was a guy. And he came in, he was very macho, and he was Latino, and he was great at what he did, but he was listening to the songs, and one after another he was like, man, these are sad. Are these for real or what? And I said, I said, well, there's that which is real and there's that which isn't. And these just happen to be those that are real. And he's like, you should name the album that. And I was like, you're right.
Took
That
it from
which is
him.
real.
That which is real.
And that's how it happened. ...
wow,
because it's-
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was like the first guy that had actually listened to the entire, and it wasn't like a woman's take on something. It was like, whoa, these are... So I do tend to write songs a little bit on the sadder side, but it's okay.
I can't imagine you writing something that's not real. You are so real
Yeah.
and open and...
Well,
you
thanks,
know.
Kelvin. I mean,
You're not a
I don't know
fluff
what
piece.
else to be. I'm just not good at being anything else. It's like I'm just kind of like what you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, just move on. I don't know what to tell you. You know, I mean, I wasn't like that when I was younger, but now at this my age, I'm just like, it's kind of who I am.
That which
There's
is real
a
is-
whole list of people who like you just the way you are.
You
right
know
there.
what? I hope so. So listen, you know what this,
True.
we have gone on now for a while. We have to get, oh, thank you, Leo, who's put my website. You're so sweet. We have to go to the part of our show called,
What?
Go Ahead, Keep Eating. You have to do this
What?
with me. It's called
Go
Ahead, Keep
Keep
Eating.
Eating.
Okay, so
That's-
as I was telling the gentleman, I like to celebrate and interview, celebrate creative people. That's what I do. I love my creative friends, but I have to step it up too. I can't just expect people to show up here creatively, bare their souls if I'm not stepping up to the plate. So every week, I show my creative side by cooking something for us. And this week, what I do is I will text people and say, do you have any dietary restrictions or preferences? No. I love these guys. They were like, no, whatever, we'll
whatever.
cook with anything. So then I narrowed it down to chicken or shrimp, and they were like, fine with both. So then I got to choose, but I did want to do something Italian. And so I made shrimp fra diavolo, one of my favorite. It does smell very good.
I can't wait.
Yes, it's very good. Not everybody likes shrimp. I love it. So this is shrimp fra diavolo, and what does that mean? It is you start with a marinara sauce, and you add crushed red peppers to it. I put a little Marsala wine in there for a little sweetness.
That's the Diablo part.
Yes, the Diablo is the hot, the spicy. It's not. I didn't make it too spicy though. But and so and I put some lobster bouillon in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's got some nice lobster flavor in there. And then linguine, no, actually not linguine, spaghetti number 9, which for some reason that sparks my childhood. My mother would send me to the store to buy Ronzoni spaghetti number 9. And so I
That
always,
spaghetti had numbers.
it does. Did you know that?
Is it like the
thicker-
higher
They're a
number,
little
thicker?
thinner.
Oh,
Yeah.
thinner.
Thinner is the higher for some reason. The lower the number, the thicker it is. The higher the number, the thinner it is with spaghetti. So it's very thin spaghetti, and that's what we're having. And that's loads of garlic, basil, oregano, crushed red peppers, Marsala wine. It's going to be just delicious. And lobster bouillon. And then,
Lucky, yeah.
yeah, and then always, I love my salads. So we have made, this smells delicious too. So I got some baby greens, spring baby green mix, and those have like some little red leaves there too, all kinds of like arugula and spinach and stuff like that, Swiss chard. And then I have English cucumbers, and we have, I'm going to put some chives in there. I'll put that in with the dressing. And then gorgonzola, crumbled gorgonzola, and pears.
That's what that is. I thought it
Yes.
was apples.
I like apples too in South, but shaved pears. So pear shavings. And then I got this beautiful pomegranate vinegar. So pomegranate vinegar and a little oil, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, some chives, boom, salt and pepper. We're done with this. And then for dessert.
Dessert?
There's more. Dessert. There's always dessert. Well, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a beam of light. This is a coconut lemon cake. Delicious. This I chose for myself. So
It's like it.
I'm a big fan
I feel
of coconut.
like you really know me. In
Yeah.
this
Is that
moment.
true?
Well, because first the spice, which
You
my
like
family's
spice?
from Malaysia.
Okay,
so originally,
wonderful.
So it's Chinese, but Malaysia. But we eat a lot of spice,
Which I love.
which is always like, oh, I didn't make it too spicy. I was like, you can always ramp it up for me.
Okay,
I
beautiful.
don't get the sweats. I've got like a cast iron tongue, but also coconut too. It's a lot of like tropical flavors.
I
could
love
spread in the
coconut.
flavor. That
Wow.
looks so yummy.
And when people say to me, "Oh, I'm not a fan of coconut," you've lost me. You've lost me. I'm like, you know what? What a baby. Like in my brain,
What a baby.
I may look like this, like, oh, okay. But in my head, I think, what a baby.
Now you're
I don't
Italian.
like, I'm Italian.
You're
yeah.
Italian, so you don't need a
100%.
lot of recipes for Italian things. Do you use them?
No, but I don't use any recipes.
You just conjure.
I don't know why. I mean, I should. What I do is that, I remember what my mother cooked and how she cooked it. And I remember that she never measured anything. Everything was, but I'm kind of like a crazy scientist. And then I have this spice rack that's 4 tiers. And what I do is I will think, okay, what would be good with what? And what would be really
That is a
different?
chemist.
Yeah, it is. And then I think this would really throw it in a different direction. Let me do that. And sometimes I'm just like I'm dying for Shrimp Diablo. So that's what I wanted. I'm like, I hope these guys are. And then other days, the day of the show, I'm like literally walking through the supermarket thinking, what am I going to make? So, and then something will spark it. Or I'll go with a theme, like if there's something coming up, I'll go with the theme. But I just really was dying for my mother used to make
here on
this.
Groundhog Day.
Right? Oh my God! So
Today's
that's
theme is spice.
spice and
everything.
sparkle. Spice and
Sparkle?
Sparkle.
My favorite color. Yeah, it's magical.
Well, you said sparking joy, so
Yeah.
I'm going with the sparkle. Now we have about 10 minutes left to our show.
How did
I
that
know.
happen?
Well, yeah.
Hurry, talk fast.
I know. So I want you guys. I'm going to let you. First of all, Kelvin. So tell us about the other shows that you've done on Broadway that we would know about.
Sideshow revival, King and I revival, Lincoln Center.
Wow.
So
SpongeBob
cool.
SquarePants in this. I did Pacific Overtures. That was my first Sondheim
That's
piece.
great.
That I did
Wow.
at a classic stage downtown. It was really cool. Sondheim came.
Oh.
Would you put yourself in the tenor or baritone category?
A baritone bass. So in
Yes.
the baritone bass category, and I sang all the bass lines a lot. I kind of discovered it by doing Pacific Overtures.
I was going to say, because I've heard you do you hit some pretty high notes there too. It's not like,
you need to kind of do it all.
so your range is big, really big. Yeah.
I think so. Well, it
Yeah.
depends what time of day.
Yeah, well, of course, all of us. But I mean, I have to say your voice is so beautiful and rich. And so I was like, oh, where does he go? He goes there, then he goes there. And you also have many different voices, I noticed. Like, I wrote one down that it was my favorite, like all of it, or, what was it from? It's going to drive me crazy. Was it from Sideshow? What did you
Oh, All in the Mind?
That's it.
Ah.
Oh,
That's a brand new one. That's a brand new one that
Oh,
Russell
I
and
loved
they
it.
wrote it. It
All
was
in the Mind.
And that was not in the original Sideshow. It's only they gave a backstory to the girls in the revival, and it's the standout piece there.
beautiful.
It wasn't my song, but the second
No,
that
but
show
you
closed,
did it.
I stole it.
That's right, Broadway
Good.
Sessions, right?
Yeah.
And I heard it, and I just was really mesmerized.
I don't know it.
And you have so many different voices that you do in that. I'm like,
I watched a lot of cartoons as kids.
Did you?
And I character acting is where I
Yeah,
want
me
to
too.
go, and I'm always just playing with the voice and seeing what the limits are. And
me too. That's my favorite
Fun
type of
passion.
thing, like voiceover and that kind of different characters and things like that. I love that too. Like, so anyway, I just found that so interesting. And now Beetlejuice is opening.
Beetlejuice, and that's going to take me to the better part of what's happening this year. It's a new musicals opening. There's a lot of things that go with it. There is Tony Award season. There's award season, but there's also cast albums, and it's just a really exciting time to be a part of the musical season in the
gosh,
spring
yes.
in New York. It's electric, and people are always talking about the new shows that are opening. And to be accepted and a part of that community, it's what I've always dreamed about.
You know what? You just reminded me of something. Did you guys see? Did you watch the Golden Globes by any chance?
I
Yes.
did. Mhm.
Okay, so I was working. We had the sound off, but at my job, but we have these big screen TVs, and I was watching the Carol Burnett, and just watch and with the words coming, and then I came home and watched the YouTube
Yeah.
Carol Burnett speech, and I mean, she was my very face. She was my comic idol.
I just
growing
got to
up.
meet her.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm. I got to go to this little. I'm friends. I'm friends with her daughter and her son-in-law.
How
and
wonderful.
they're very, very talented. And they had a reading of something that that Lonnie wrote, his son-in-law, and it was in somebody's home, and I just got to go and
Speaking
she
of
read
which, we have
voices.
to talk about your other stuff before.
It's
But I
amazing.
also wanted to say that she said something that you just reminded me of, Kelvin. She said we were so lucky. We didn't realize how lucky we are at the time to have the format that we had and the stage that we had and the way that we did things then in television. We don't have that anymore. And she felt very fortunate. And I'm hearing the same thing from you.
Yeah.
I feel very fortunate, and it is that speech. And if you
Yeah.
haven't seen that speech that she made for the new Carol Burnett Lifetime Achievement Award,
You should.
you have to go and watch it because it makes
Definitely.
you say, and you said this before, take a picture of where you are right now,
Right.
and not just on the physical phone and keep snapping, but like take a mental picture because.
Right.
You never know. This is a very rare thing, you know, when the good times are here, and you
Right.
hope they stay forever. And we, unfortunately, know it doesn't. And so in these
Right.
moments, I really try to say, you know, it's hard work, and I'm tired, and this and that, but just look how fortunate I am in this moment, and
Right,
try to hold
absolutely.
it and put it in the box and try to keep that memory and put a bow around it, because
I
it's a
agree
gift.
100%.
Good for you.
know what? I want because there's so much we to talk about. Oh my God. Okay, now I want Terry to you. We wrote this down, but the other things that you've worked on, that the television stuff that you worked on and are working on right now.
I have a show that I do, my own little show comedy called My Sister Is So Gay, with Lonnie Anderson plays my mom.
Great.
And do you know who Deborah Wilson is?
Sure.
Yeah, she's great. She if you don't know, you know her because she does the great Oprah impersonations and Whitney from Mad TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
She's
yes.
great.
So funny.
And
She's in it as well.
Yeah, and then this season, Ray Don Chong joined the cast.
Okay, great.
And we have Tilky Jones plays my boyfriend. Because I wrote it, I'm going to give myself a howdy.
Why not?
Boyfriend. And Wendy Michaels is my partner on that. So it's very exciting. Season 2 is going to come out soon. And so
My Sister's So Gay.
My Sister's So Gay. You can watch season 1 on YouTube for free because the channel that we had it on, we pulled it from them, and we're just letting people watch it right now.
Okay.
So I also have a series on Here TV.
Here,
channel-
HERE
yeah,
TV.
Here TV, called From Here On Out, and it's sort of like a gay 30 Rock. It's a show about making a TV show, and I play the writer creator who is forced to make this horrible cheesy TV show called Guy Dubai International Gay Spy with all these hot nakedy boys, and it's with no money.
I know. So you're not gonna want to watch it.
You're not going to watch
this.
this. They're all so beautiful.
hot.
It's boring.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
don't even-
nakedy. And then I do a little thing with Dawn Wells called She's Still in That Frickin' Island. She's Marianne from Gilligan's Island, and I get to go on to Gilligan's Island. And I just
That
released
is
a little
hysterical.
pilot of a new show I'm doing called TV Therapy, where I'm a therapist and I interview classic TV characters as they are today. And the first one is Tabitha from Bewitched, Erin Murphy, which you can watch on YouTube because I just put it out there so people can see the concept.
And what's
So,
that called?
TV Therapy, and just go TV Therapy Erin Murphy or TV Therapy Terry Ray, and you'll see the first episode.
Terry Ray's TERRRYRAY. Terry Ray. So that's for our radio listeners. And Kelvin, spell your name again, please.
Oh, it's Kelvin, like the temperature scale, Kelvin.
Oh, I like that.
Moon, opposite from the sun, MON, and low. This
Or when
one's
you
good.
show your behind.
I
Right.
love your name. I think your name is
LOH.
fantastic.
That's my given name.
I love it though.
That's
I love
It's
it.
beautiful.
Low.
It's like it's just
Malaysian.
Really cool.
Malaysian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and just really cool, and it doesn't sound like anybody else's name. Claudia Chera has joined us. She's an amazing guitarist and musician. Yeah. So many people. Unfortunately we didn't get to. Gina, thank you. My cousin Gina said, "Thank you, Gina." She says, "Yeah, let's eat. All the wonderful stuff. There's so
Yummy.
much going.
Oh,
I
there's
know.
all that-
See, all the Italians, and that's why you guys are not Italian. But I love that you wanted the shrimp. You're into it, because I usually just cook that stuff, that seafood stuff, for the Italians. Because sometimes people are like, "Nah, that's not what I want." But I'm so glad you're into it.
Oh,
We're
it's
going
gonna
to
be
eat
great.
now. We're going to heat everything up. So, and Mandar, Chick Magnet here, always writes down whatever I say. He just types it out. Thank you. So you really are the keeper.
Oh, he
of
makes
my
the recipe out there.
out there.
That's nice.
So whatever I put, Leo said that there was going to have to be a cookbook, and
Yeah,
Mandar's
Mandar's
in
getting you
charge.
halfway to it.
Yeah, he really is. Mandar, you got a percentage of that for sure. And Leo. And Ben Goldberg has joined us.
Ben.
Kate Greer, she's a wonderful actress.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Yeah, Kate does voiceovers. She's a singer. She was at a play at the Cherry Lane Theater last year or year before. So many great, and you know Kate Greer, I think, Mel. So a friend of ours. Jeannie Gorman Wilson has joined us. Hi, Jeannie. So there's a lot of people. I'm gonna after the what we're gonna do now is the show's it's coming close to an end. Is we are going to we save the show, of course. Jimmy will be back and let us know that we're almost done. We'll save the show, and then you can watch this video as many times as you want. And I encourage you, Jimmy. How much time do we have?
That's just me coming back in.
Oh, okay. So about 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
You got about 4 minutes.
Oh, good. Well, that's
3
Jimmy.
minutes.
He's our producer and engineer on Armed Radio, and he's great. So thank God for Jimmy, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So we just want to let you know that there's a lot of great stuff happening on the show. Please come back every week, Tuesday nights at 9 Eastern. And guys, give us something to go out with. So if there's somebody watching the show, Kelvin, and people that are creative that they're stuck right now. They're stuck. They don't know which direction. What advice would you give them?
I think that especially in theater and especially in any kind of entertainment, people are always looking for what those milestones are of achievements. Like, I want to be on Broadway, or I want to do this specific things. But, really what it is, it's about finding projects that spark joy. Here it is.
I was going to do it.
Thank you.
Spark
Find
is the word
projects
to say.
spark joy. And it doesn't matter if you present it to a room of you play Madison Square Garden or Radio City, or you present it to a room of just one other person.
Right.
I think that if you're creating something that is authentic to you,
Yep.
keeping it real as
Right.
possible,
Real.
Right.
it will bring you a lot of joy, and ultimately will lead you to the next project and the next project. Just keep creating,
Right.
and don't wait for somebody else to give you the opportunity to
That's-
create, because the only one who needs to give you permission is you yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
And Terry, what would you add to that, or piggyback on? Or
Well, it's the same thing, but for me, in my world, I think it's important if you have something, do it. Just if you can create it, like, don't wait for somebody to give you a job. Go out and
absolutely.
create your own opportunity. That's what I feel like you have to do. You have to if you can't write, then find somebody who does write and collaborate. But don't sit around and wait for the phone to ring or somebody to text you. Just go do something that you love, because you have the power to make it happen.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. How much time? I think we're almost
Less
done.
than a minute.
Less than a minute. Okay, we want to thank Kelvin
We're good to eat.
Mulo.
Yeah,
Yes,
Kelvin.
exactly. We want to thank Terry Ray, and keep your eyes out for Beetlejuice, the musical,
Yep.
and Electricity, the play, and come back every week, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you miss our show, don't panic. I always save the video. Go and like What's the Story with Maria. That's my
Yes.
page, and we appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. God bless you, and carry on the good work of creative people.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Why